to this week's Unikernel Application Spotlight. As you can see, this week we are looking at JRuby. So JRuby is a alternative Ruby implementation, Ruby runtime that utilizes the JVM to run Ruby code. And so they recently released 10.0 just like a couple weeks ago, I think. And I saw that fly by, and I was like, "Hey, we don't have our JRuby package yet." So I went ahead and cut one, and just wanted to see how it would work with nanos. Obviously, it works. So, but yeah, it's JRuby's interesting. I remember meeting Charles Nutter, one of the main guys behind this, a very, very long time ago in Kansas City. I mean, it's got to be like 15 some odd years ago. And I think at that time, the late 00s, Ruby was like really taking off. Pretty much every little startup was using it. And it's still like used quite a lot throughout the startup ecosystem. But JRuby's nice because for a couple of reasons, right? One is if you have to do any interopt with Java whatsoever, which a lot of companies found themselves in that transition throughout the years, it's just kind of a no-brainer at that point. So if you remember back in like, I don't know, 2010, 2012, something like that, Twitter actually used to be all Ruby, and then they started moving into the JVM ecosystem. There's so many stories like that, mainly because of performance issues. Once you get like super popular, Ruby itself, like JRuby or something, it's just, you have to horizontally scale. And yeah, that's doable, but like, why not use the performance, right? And if you're again diving into the JVM ecosystem with Kafka or something like that, it just starts making more and more sense. So that's a huge thing. The other really big thing though is like real threading. So this is something that all the interpreters out there, uh, they don't really have access to, right? Whether it's Python or Ruby or JavaScript or any of these interpreted languages, they generally lack access to real threads in a manner that makes sense. And it's important because, again, if you're horizontally scaling, yeah, you fork off a whole bunch of servers, or if you have threads, you can vertically scale. And when we're talking about unikernels, this becomes important too, because unikernels embrace the single process model. Now, the nanos unikernel has access to multi-threading, right? And so that means that we can vertically scale as much as we want. But if you need multiple processes, well, now you want another unikernel. And so it fits in very well with the unikernel ecosystem as well. So I guess the last thing I'll mention before I shut up and show you some examples is one thing I didn't realize was JRuby's actually been around for, I guess, 25 years almost now. It came out around 2001. I thought it came out around 06, 07, 08, but I guess that was just when I got exposed to it. So I'm going to go ahead and shut up and just show you some examples. All right, so let's look at this hi.rub. As you can see, right off the bat, I'm calling into Java. This Java util random number generator, and then seed it, and then give us our number. So if we run this locally, you can see it doesn't work because it's actually calling into a Java standard lib class here. But if we use JRuby, we can call it. So let me just grab my little example here, and then my config, basically I'm just saying, hey, execute this hi.rub script, and I'm also adding that to the disk image as well. Did this not copy? Let's try that again. All right, JR JSON. And then, so what this is actually doing is it's booting up the JVM, which is why has a little bit of a boot time there. And then it runs our code. Now, you're going to sacrifice a little boot time latency here, but what you get in return is you get a much faster runtime because now you're running on the JVM. Let's see. I can show you what the package looks like too, just to give you an idea of. I guess we could just do this too. I always forget that this stuff exists. This image tree basically shows the same output that I would show you. That's a lot of output, so maybe I should show you. JRuby, here we go. So yeah, we have our package manifest. So this is, I guess, important to show. So if you look at the package manifest, we obviously set our Java home. We set, the actual Java binary, the args. This is what JRuby actually wants when it runs. You find this a lot in Java ecosystem. You also find this a lot in the Python ecosystem, where there's usually a shell script wrapper that stuffs all this crap into a shell script, and then it executes that. So we do the same thing here, but it's not a shell script. We're actually just explicitly giving the arguments. It's literally the same thing, but without the shell, right? We set our dev random. This is actually really important, by the way. If you don't set this random, and forget the example that I just showed you, just in general, when you're working with the JVM and unikernels, super important. If you don't set this random thing, your JVM is going to be super slow, like insanely slow. We've seen it be like literally boot times of like a half a minute if it's not set properly. Keep that in mind if you're working with other JVM packages and unikernels. And then some of this other stuff, right? Our version can pop into sysroot. So this is largely like the JVM packaged with other stuff. And so you're going to find the same sort of thing. As you can tell, this could be slimmed down considerably. There's a lot of crap in here that probably doesn't belong. But I was kind of in a rush, and I just wanted to get this out the door. Somebody who actually cares about this could slim this down and remove all these binaries that are here. Like, you don't even need some of these things. And it's not that they take space, and it's not that an attacker can really execute them anyways, but it's just, why even have them, right? Obviously our JDK, it's a full JDK, some other stuff in lib, and I think this is some pretty basic stuff right here. So we'll just kind of do this and get that. So yeah, exactly what you would kind of expect here. So it's pretty basic. And the whole package is like, let's see what the whole thing is unzipped. So unzipped, it's like 430 meg. Like I said, you could probably slim this down quite a bit. But this is your basic JRuby running as a nanos unikernel, and congratulations JRuby on a 25-year run. Hope to many more. All right, till next time.